Meet sailing yacht Avanti and her crew, Gerard and Jacqueline. We left Cape Town in December 2021 on our floating home, heading west on an adventure of a lifetime around the world. Most nights here, it is about 30 degrees with 90% humidity. So having a fan is absolutely crucial, and we actually have 3 at the moment that we rotate so that we've got air all night long. But even more important is having this hatch open. And when it's rainy season, we have to close it, otherwise it's raining on our faces as we sleep. So I need to figure a way out to make a top over this hatch so that we can keep it open even in the rain. Annoyingly, this has been on our to-do list for, I think, since we left Cape Town, and every time we remember to or have a look at the long to-do list, we're in a place where we can't get it made, and now we're out of time and we're approaching a monsoon season, so there's no more buffling about. I just have to figure something out, and we've got some old sails, pieces of sailcloth that friends gave to us, so I'm going to see if this will fit over the hatch, and then I can hand stitch it together. It looks like it'll work. It's definitely wide enough and long enough, and then if I stitch these places together and I make a little top thing to pull it up, then the rain should just run off. But I don't think I'm going to be able to stitch in a straight line, so I think I'm going to super glue them and then stitch over the super glue. No harm in trying, right?
Jackie, I've got a surprise for you.
What?
I think I found something that's going to work better than those loose pieces of sail. So I found like a waterproof top, I think, in the market. And yeah, it's dirt cheap. It's like 30,000 IDR. So I think the size will also work for the covering the front hatch.
Oh, show me. I say it's a little noisy, but if we tie it down strong enough, tight enough, I think it'll work. It's quite big. Yeah! She's big, she's beautiful, and she's gonna keep us dry. I'm glad it's big. It'll work. I'm so glad Gerard found this. It's saving me. This is a lot less stitching work, hand stitching work, definitely. We don't have much thread on board, but we do have whipping twine. So that is what we're using with some really big needles. That will hopefully go through everything. The plan is to have a patch, and then I'll stitch a loop at the back, and that is where our halyard will connect to pull this blue umbrella over the hatch. Well, this took longer than I thought it was going to take. This sticky, waxy thread is definitely harder to work with than normal thread, but now it's all nice and tight. All different shapes of stitching. And now I just have to attach this to the center. I don't have happy fingers, but we're gonna sleep well from now on. A friend of mine that used to work with me is coming to Bali for work. So we're leaving Avanti and heading to the famous Bali and staying in some aircon rooms finally. There are two types of ferries that run between Lombok and Bali. While Avanti stays safely in the calm bay, we have a choice between a slow ferry that costs only 75,000 per person versus the fast ferry that costs 900,000 IDR that only goes 3 times a week. The slow one takes almost an entire day with all the taxis to and from ports, and the fast one only takes 2 to 3 hours.
We didn't know where the slow ferry actually docked on Bali, and we ended up in the northwestern part of the island, from where we needed to find a taxi to the southern popular beach of Kuta. Kuta is known for its parties and small busy streets, not really our type of place, so we were happy to follow Jacqueline's friend to the eastern side of the island called Nusa Dua, where all the large 5-star resorts with their private beaches are located. We stayed in a smaller, cheap hotel just down the road of the bigger resorts.
We were excited to grab a scooter and go see what the southern coast of Bali had to offer.
The large Uluwatu Balinese Hindu temple was impressive with its cliffs and aggressive monkeys. Yes, the monkeys are aggressive and they love shiny things. We watched them grab hats, sunglasses, handbags, and even a cell phone, which was ripped apart in seconds from some gullible tourists. Better to keep your shiny things stowed away.
At sunset, they have a ketchak show where 80 men make all the sounds and songs with their hands and voices, while the dancers tell their Hindu stories.
Uluwatu also has some of the world's most famous surf spots, so we had to stop to see what the fuss was all about. It was quite a ride to get there, and our bums are definitely not used to being on a scooter for so long. But the ride was worth it. Hundreds of surfers come to this area to catch a wave on a daily basis.
This is definitely the upmarket surfer hub where all the people come to eat their smashed avo and poke bowls and I don't know what else, all things healthy.
Today I'm tasting a beer that we haven't seen around much, but since being in Bali we've actually seen quite a lot of different beers, a little bit of craft beer as well. It's not just the bintangs and the prosts as we see for instance in Kupang or Lombok. So this one is called a Bali High. It's actually the brewery name and it's a romantic day lager. It's brewed in Java, so not on the island of Bali. It's a nice big can of 500 ml, and the cost of this 500 ml in the supermarket is about 50 rand. It's got 4.9% alcohol. So let's give this one a taste. So it's similar to the Bintang, very refreshing, crisp lager. So although I'm not a fan of the design on the can, I'm gonna give this one a rating of 6.5 out of 10, considering the cost, the size of the can and the alcohol content. Cheers.
After saying goodbye to my friend, Gerard also headed back to Avanti, and I spent 3 days in the rice fields of Ubud, doing yoga and cycling through this beautiful place. I learned so much about their culture. This relatively small island, belonging to the mainly Muslim Indonesia, is home to its own unique culture, with majority practicing Hinduism. Where families live together, the sons and their wives and the children will stay with the parents in the compound. In the compound they'll share a kitchen and even have a little Hindu temple of their own that will always be on the northern facade of the property. When people in Bali pass, their burial is quite unique. Everyone except for the royal family and priests is buried in a shallow grave, and once every 4 years, everyone is dug up and cremated together. The ashes then taken to a river that isn't used for watering fields and let go. Our last stop was the water temple, where people lined up for hours to get water blessings. It's reality that we had a really busy 2023, sailing almost halfway around the world in 8 months. We had some great adventures, but we also had some really rough times, and my mental health had taken some strain. A breakaway like this, away from everything, brings clarity, and I remember why we love sailing, and I'm excited to get back. Missing family and friends has sucked my energy, but now we get to recharge and plan for a great 2024.
We normally post a video every week due to us moving fast through quite a few places at our normal pace. But since we are waiting in Indo at the moment for the season to change before we can cross the Indian Ocean, we are quite stationary and there's less to report on, so we're going to post every second week from now on for the next few months until we get on the move again.
I'll see if there's something extra to put on a weekly basis. We'll definitely share if we've got something to share, but for now we're going to slow down a bit and only post every second week. So see you in 2 weeks' time. If you enjoyed this week's video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and share. Subscribing also goes a long way to helping us. Thank you to our patrons as always for their support monthly. We couldn't do it without you. See you in the next episode.